this one's going to be a quick and fairly simple recipe. Once your risotto's been chilling in the fridge for a day or so, let's take it out and let's cut up some nice stringy mozzarella into cubes, probably about 10 mil by 10 mil. Then, spooning out some of the risotto, start forming it into a little disc in your palm. Place the cheese in the middle, and then with the spoon and your hand, start forming them up into balls. So once again, that process, we're gonna make a little disc in the palm of our hand. Push the cheese into there, 2 if you're feeling real cheesy. And then just work those balls with the spoon to form them up. So let's just repeat that with the rest of the risotto until we've got it all used up. So here I'm going to set up for our dredging and breadcrumbing process. We got some plain flour there, some breadcrumbs. These are panko. I do love the panko for their beautiful crispy crunch. And then an egg, of course. Something I did find here, though, was after forming the balls, the risotto had softened quite a lot. So I did start the process with one of them. However, it didn't really hold up so well by the time I'd got onto the second. So these guys went into the freezer, and then we could do the whole process later, so they would hold their shape a bit better. While we're waiting for those balls to chill, we can make our mayo. So I'm going to start out with the classic here, the Kewpie, the Japanese mayonnaise. This stuff is full of umami and probably a whole lot of sugar as well, but it does add a really nice richness. So we're just going to add that to the bowl. And then on top of that, let's pour in some soy sauce. Give that a little mix up and a little taste test. But not quite happy with that flavor, so let's add a little bit more soy sauce and some mirin as well. Once again, let's give that a really good mix, and depending on the flavor and how you like it, you can always add a little bit more mayo to reduce the potency, or add some more seasoning if that's more to your liking. Let's put all of that into a nice squeezy bottle for later, and then let's get back to our balls. This crumbing process is going to be the same for anything you might have done in the past. So we're going to start with the flour, get it all nice and coated. And then from there, we'll go into the egg wash. And once everything's nice and eggy, chuck them into the breadcrumbs, and there you go. Repeat this for all the balls until they're done. And then let's start heating up some oil. As always, I'm using an oil thermometer here. Now, these are so handy for keeping track of those temps, because if that oil does get too hot, it will burn. And if it's not hot enough, your balls just won't really be crispy. So these are really inexpensive. I've got some links down in the description below where you can check them out and get one for yourself if you so desire. For me, it just makes a huge difference when I'm frying, just to have that peace of mind that all of my balls are going to be nice and crunchy and crispy, and they're not going to be too burnt. One by one, start dunking your balls in that hot oil. Probably give these about 3 to 5 minutes a piece until they're nice and golden brown. And if your oil doesn't fully cover them, don't worry about that. Just give them a little turn as they cook. Definitely worth getting them out and having a little check halfway through and turning them as well, just to make sure they don't burn on the bottom. Once your balls are nice and golden and crispy, it's time for them to come out. So chuck them onto some paper towel and let all that extra oil drain off. Once those are all done cooking, let's start plating them up. And here I'm just going to add 3 to the bowl. Using the microplane, I'm going to grate a little parmesan all over the top of these. I'll also grate a little off to the side onto a plate, just so we can have a little more control over where that parmesan lands and we can make some little mountains on top. These squeezy bottles are so helpful for any sauces that you're making, and again, I've got a link down in the description below. We're going to hold the nozzle real close and slowly squeeze out a little dollop of our beautiful mayo on top of these bowls. And it was looking a little plain to me, so to finish it all off, I added a little sprinkle of aonori on top of that mayo to add some contrast. And there we have it, miso, mushroom, goatfish risotto turned into arancini.